Investigators in Yemen are looking into how an airstrike in the northern part of the country ended up hitting a school bus, killing 40 children and injuring 56 more. It's one of the most horrifying episodes in a grueling war that's already taken more than 10,000 civilian lives. A coalition headed by Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, with American backing, has been fighting Shia Houthi rebels backed by Iran, who control large chunks of Yemen's territory. And the coalition's most ambitious operation is now underway: the fight to retake the critical port city of Hodeidah.
الجنوب اليمني سوف يتقدم. تكبير! تكبير!
These men call themselves Yemen's resistance forces. They look like amateurs, and they are. But they're the coalition's main fighting force.
واليوم إن شاء الله نتقدم في الساحل الغربي ونقول للحوثة أرحلوا من بلدنا يا كلاب، أرحلوا من بلدنا يا قرود، فهذه بلادنا وليس بلادكم.
وحررنا الحديدة بالرصاص المغلم.
A war that was supposed to be over in 6 weeks has now dragged on for more than 3 years. And on the ground, it's easy to see why. These fighters were preparing for what they assumed would be a simple task: cutting off a Houthi supply road that runs into Hodeidah.
إلى جميع الفهود في الميدان، استعدوا للانطلاق للهجمة إن شاء الله. كيف المعنويات يا فهود؟ عاش الغايب من علوي عاش. 23-year-old Saeed al-Bayir delayed his wedding and put his life on hold to help defeat the rebels.
All you've known for the last 3 years is fighting. Can you imagine a life without that?
حياة أحلى، بس فرض علينا أننا نبغى كذا. أن الوضع لازمنا نكون كذا. ندافع عن الوطن ونكون ضد المتمردين، ضد الانقلابيين يعني في.
What's changed now? What's different about this battle?
تغيرات من المحرقة حررنا مواقع كثيرة. سيطرنا والآن أصحابنا معنا في الحديدة. احنا نتقدم إن شاء الله من هنا. بإذن الله.
The resistance forces called in airstrikes before charging ahead with 400 men and heavy weaponry.
You can just feel the mortars zipping right over our heads into Houthi territory. There are snipers along this road.
هديهم كلهم اللي يخافوا. هنا ارجعوا هنا. لا تخافوا ها. لحظة. يا شباب. تعال الأجانب. أمنونا من الشيخ الرجل لأمن مكان تمام.
What's going on?
هنا مش آمن. أنتي ويا بعدي ها. تخرجوا بعدي.
Al-Bayir and his team found themselves surrounded.
What can we hear now? Is that outgoing or incoming?
مدفعية الهون لا موقع الحوثيين. لأن هذا الضرب اللي يسويه من هذا أصحاب الحوثيين مش لنا.
So do you think the Houthis are expecting this attack?
يمكن عندهم استخباراتهم. يمكن لهم يعلمون أننا معنا هجمة. هم أكيد مجهزين.
That's why they set up these sniper positions?
أكيد.
The men held the road for just 2 hours before falling back, and wounded troops began streaming in to the local hospital.
Very hectic in this hospital right now. There's been several casualties already incurred by the resistance forces.
This day alone, the hospital received 38 fighters wounded in the battle. 2 of them died. And it wasn't long before the first injured civilian arrived.
His case is very dangerous, very serious.
10-year-old Mohammed Jalmoud's home was hit by a Houthi mortar round.
This is your son? What happened?
ما أدري أتعرف عن البيوت داخل في البيت لا في الغرفة دخلوا من الشباك شباب
خلاص يقطع ولا اشتد يقطع ان شاء الله ان شاء الله يقطع الا عندهم اشتد.
Will he survive?
Maybe.
The shrapnel had torn into one of Mohammed's major arteries, but the hospital was low on even basic supplies and had no surgeon on staff.
ما صاب دم كان لازم من نفس الشيء يصاب دم بس. كن بابا قاعد بالسلام. سكينة.
So the doctor sent him to a bigger hospital, a 3-hour drive over contested land. At a nearby detention center for captured rebels, Houthi fighters insisted that it's civilians on their side who are being targeted.
Why did you join up?
سبب الطيران قتل الأطفال والنساء خرب البيوت والمدارس والمراكز الصحية. هذا اللي خلانا ننطلق. حمية بنقاتل حتى آخر قطرة من دمائنا. نعم يخلينا نشعر بالغضب عندما يجي يضرب بيت جارك المرة الثانية بيجي يضرب بيتك.
Is that the same for all of you guys? You all joined because of the airstrikes?
بده له عمره 4 سنة. بده يروح الأجل يا أخي يعني الأطفال جحماهم. الطائرة تجي تضرب لك يعني قرية كاملة. ما هو يا رجال لو أنا أسحب على ركبي شخرج.
The Yemen Data Project says that the area around Hodeidah has seen the highest number of coalition airstrikes since the conflict started. According to the Independent Monitoring Group's most recent report, the majority of those attacks have targeted non-military areas. We were given rare access to an Emirati military base on Yemen's west coast, where officers direct coalition pilots towards their targets.
How much of what goes on here is providing air support for the resistance forces?
نحن نستخدم جهود الجوية للتحالف لعمليات إسقاط جوي إلا أنهم مصرين على إيصال المساعدات الإنسانية لقوات للشعب اليمني.
I mean, that's not the only thing the UAE are doing though when it comes to air support. Obviously, they're sending out a lot of airstrikes, which has caused many deaths of civilians recently.
We didn't stop this.
It's just obviously a concern because there are a lot of civilians, thousands of civilians in Hodeidah and around the west coast who feel like their biggest concern is the fear that the airstrikes are.
Colonel Al-Qatari stopped the interview and asked his press officer for advice before eventually defending the coalition's actions.
القيم وقواعد الاشتباك التي تنتهجها قيادة التحالف في العمل العسكري طبعا هي من أعلى المعايير التي طبعا تستخدم طبقا للقانون الدولي الإنساني.
But thousands of civilians have already fled Hodeidah and the surrounding areas, trying to get out of harm's way.
شفناها أول مرة لما راحت القطار بعدين ضربت علينا بعدين ما درت شيء مش حصل خوف كثير.
Which family members have you lost from airstrikes?
أبي وأمي 3 أخواني وبنت أختي كلهم راحوا أبكت إلا أنا وأخي.
إنك كل ما تحاول تنساهن. تخيل لما يندوليان مقطعين وجنب احنا ضربنا الطيران في جنب منزل، في منزل من راح أسرة.
Who do you blame for the death of your parents?
هن يضربوا دن يضربوا ومواطنين عليهن اللي يموتوا لهن يا خلاص لما تبكي